So Mons, cEDH TV, here a deck building challenge, mulligan for tutor or this and activate as soon as possible and win with 15 praetors. Good challenge, right? Well, challenge accepted. So Realmbreaker the Evasive Invasion 3 is a new legendary 3 mana cost artifact that has 2 generic tap it, target opponent mills 3 cards, put a land card from their graveyard onto the battlefield tapped under your control. It gains if this land would leave the battlefield, exile it instead, or putting it anywhere else. So you could mill your opponents and ramp mana, so to say. Now milling is kind of bad in cEDH in general because you're usually fueling people's graveyard strategies, but like ramping lands, that's kind of cute, but overall it doesn't look that amazing. However, 10 mana, tap, sacrifice Realmbreaker the Invasion 3, search your library for any number of praetor cards and put them onto the battlefield, then shuffle. This is similar to the World Tree that is doing more or less close to the same thing. Search your library for any number of god cards, put them onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. And then with something like Maskwood Nexus, you can make all your creatures in your deck into either gods or praetors, and suddenly you have a trick to get all of your creatures directly into play, and that should 100% win the game if this thing resolves. And we do have a commander that can champion this sisay Red Alert Captain because Realmbreaker is a legendary. Sisay could tutor for it. Maskwood Nexus and the World Tree aren't legendary, so she can't find those, so you have to like search out Maskwood Nexus and then use sisay to search out the Realmbreaker and then get the 10 mana and boom, win the game. And honestly, that's like really bad. This is just so expensive, 10 mana is enormous. But in all honesty, it's not impossible. Sisay is usually built to build up towards a really high mana count. So it is actually quite possible to eventually get there. Like 10 mana is not an impossible achievement for a sisay. By the way, compared to the World Tree, this is colorless mana. So you can use like mana vaults and mana crypts and other soul rings to help you get to that 10 count. But another question we should ask ourselves is, what if we just put praetors into play like the challenge actually asked for, instead of all creatures with Maskwood Nexus? Well, here you go, deck list made for you, sisay Realmbreaker Praetor Tribal. We're playing 47 creatures, including all the praetors. Now a big thing with the praetors is that they are somewhat hate bears. For example, this Elishnon, Mother of Machine, anti-torpor, like anti-ETB, Elishnon Grand Genobite, that's a board wipe. But also if you look down here, Urabrask the Hidden. All creatures you control have haste, and with this Elishnon, all of your creatures get +2/+2, and you're reducing your opponent's dorks and chunk blockers. So if you do get to activate and find and use the Realmbreaker here, there is a chance that you can just find so many praetors. Like this is a Sheltered Whispering one, it's gonna be an 8/8. This is gonna be a 6/7. This is gonna be 6/6. Where are the green ones? This is gonna be a 9/6. This is gonna be an 8/8. This is gonna be a 7/7. It's gonna be a 7/6. So yeah, we're punching big. We have this one too. Also, by the way, they are probably gonna print more praetors soon, and they have actually started to decrease in casting costs. Like Shoulder the Apocalypse is actually something you could in theory have inside the deck. Elishnon, Mother of Machines, have already proven to be quite decent in general. It's a little bit expensive 5 mana, but it's a functional hate bear, similar to the Shoulder the Apocalypse as well. So we don't have too many. Well, we kind of actually have a lot of really dead cards. Like the big problem with this deck in general is that getting this into play and activating it isn't an impossibility, but the demand that they suddenly have to include like 10 mana, 7 mana, 8 mana, 6 mana, 7 mana, just too expensive. Like there's so many dead draws you could actually draw into. Like imagine if you draw into these praetors. That's gonna be really annoying. Like this one isn't that bad. Like 3 mana is kind of fine. It's not great, but it's also not a like useless card. It's a, I wouldn't say cEDH card, but it's a card you could play and like say, okay, it's doing something at the very least. While like this Ying attacks is at 10 mana is a little bit expensive. Happily, we have Dockside Extortionist to help us out. We have Catilda, Dawn, Heart Prime. We have a Kinnan, we have a Professional Facebreaker, Rim Hireling, bunch of Dorks, Bloom Tender, Faeburrow Elder, Smothering Tide. I did include a Mana Vault in this deck because you just need colorless mana to get this one to activate. And we also have a Gaia's Cradle. And because Gaia's Cradle is going to be extra important inside this deck, crop rotation in there definitely. So the clean straight up game plan here is to just put CC into play, like some hate bears here and there, Falia, Lavinia, and then eventually activate until you find your Realmbreaker and then climb to the 10 mana and boom! Put all Praetors into play, Urabrask with haste, smash and win. You're probably gonna kill like 2 players, and then with your hate bears in your Praetor hate bears in play, you're gonna make sure that the last opponent doesn't really have a good game. Like he's gonna lose life to this thing, he's gonna sacrifice creatures to this thing, creatures comes into play tapped, creatures don't ATB, dorks die, yeah, big boom. But still, in all honesty, that's really bad still. Kinda fun, kinda cool, and it's gonna be a meme when you get to do it. Like it's gonna be like one of those cEDH achievements, so to say. Get this thing to activate. But I have to say I don't recommend it. It's not good, guys. It absolutely could win games. Like this is a fun, high-powered cEDH deck, I would say. Somewhere down the line, it could be tweaked more differently, honestly. Like we have the key cards, we have Archon of Emeria of Hate, we have Ranger Captain, Falia and all the good stuff that you usually need for a cEDH deck. It's just that you suddenly have a really strange game plan. Like, even if we take a look again here, the clean win of just getting Dockside, Extortionist together with Emil, or Kinnan, where is Isika, God of the Tree? There she is, Isika, God of the Tree together with Nagela. You have clean wins otherwise, as it already is. As well as Emil the Blessed and the Revi combo with Gaia's Cradle. Very clean, very simple. It's already in there. So I literally think there's a chance that when you play this deck as it currently stands, you might just end up going for the normal cEDH wins accidentally instead of the Invasion 3 Praetor Tribal Bombed combo, so to say. So I think there's a world to go even more down on the meme here and drop these combo creatures. But the thing was, I kinda need ramp, and the Revi is kinda helping with the ramp a tiny bit. And then just include Emil and we're good. And Dockside is good. And when you build Sisay, you normally include Emil, so it just happens. I hope this gave you an idea of how this card should not be played in cEDH. Don't recommend it. Don't play it. It's too big of a meme. But I think it's gonna be cool. I think I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna play this deck in one of my cEDH games, so to say. Maybe I will get there, and that will be kinda cool. I would also like to say that I don't like this strategy either. Having Maskwood Nexus inside the deck together with Realmbreaker Invasion Tree to get all your creatures from the deck isn't that good either. Now, you aren't gonna include that many dead cards in your deck because everything will be a Praetor or a God, which means that you're gonna find all of your hate bears. Like, you can play the best cEDH creatures in the entire world and still apply this combo. However, CC already has a really clean, straightforward game plan without all of this stuff. She's a clean activation towards a clean victory, and this is just a big meme. In the end, you still need to pay like 10 mana into this little combo, and at the point where you can pay 10 mana, you already have 2 CC activations, which means that you should win already by that point. Like 2 CC activations usually win the game, if you can activate twice on a turn. So in the end, I don't see the reason to have this. But CC isn't the only one we should actually talk about here. Magda can tutor out Artifact. She can find Maskwood Nexus, and she is already playing Maskwood Nexus in some cases, because she can make everything into a dwarf with Maskwood Nexus. Then that's good. That's on point what she wants to do. And she can also use Maskwood Nexus to make them into dragons, which means that she can search out any creature she wants from the deck. But if Magda, for some reason, would have 2 activations, she could find both of these 2 artifacts, and then if she has 10 more mana, she can put all creatures from her entire deck into play. However, at that point, you're also already winning with a clean, typical Magda combo that you already have. So once again, I don't see the point in having this combo inside Magda just because you can. Magda already does the same thing without this, so no, big no. So in the end, casual junk, but don't let your memes be dreams. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. More card reviews are coming up. There's a lot of new spoilers, so a lot of new commanders to take a look at. See you then. Take care, guys.